morning. Namaste to each of you. Thank you for joining me this morning to honor your mind and your body and your spirit. Let's just take a moment to become present. Find a nice, comfortable seated position on a cushion or a blanket, a block, something that allows your back and the back of your neck to sit nice and long and tall, opening up your chest and opening up your diaphragm and opening up your heart. Let's gently close our eyes and soften our thoughts. Soften our eyes. Soften our shoulders. And soften our heart. Observe your breath as it is, soft and gentle, breathing life into you with each inhale and relaxation with each exhale. Feel the grace of being present, returning to that awareness again and again. You may open your eyes now. For this morning's intention, you may think of a positive word or phrase to have with you on your mat and perhaps carry with you throughout the day. This morning's intention I'd like to talk about is have yourself a merry little Christmas. So I'm going to read the lyrics of a song written by Hugh Martin and Ralph Blaine. I'm not going to sing them. Singing will come later, so I won't let you suffer twice. But I really love these words, and I think it's one of my husband's favorite Christmas songs. So it goes, have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. From now on, our troubles will be out of sight. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay. From now on, our troubles will be miles away. Here we are as in olden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who are dear to us gather near to us once more. Through the years, we all will be together, if the fates allow. So hang a shining star upon the highest bough and have yourself a merry little Christmas now. And that was in the movie Meet Me in St. Louis. Really pretty words. So on to our pranayama. A pranayama this morning, I'm actually going to take it to the mat to do it, but it's going to be the Kapalabhati pranayama breathing technique, which I'm going to relabel this morning as the ho, ho, ho breath. And so normally our inhale is an active, the active part of our breathing, and the exhale is more passive. This breathing technique, Kapalabhati, is the style is reversed. So your exhale is very active and your inhale's on the passive side. And to do that active exhale, you would use your stomach muscles and blast air through your nostrils, or in this case today, we're going to blast it through our mouth by saying ho, ho, ho. And the idea of this particular pranayama is to energize the whole body. So I'm going to go to the mat and ho, ho, ho breath. Again, it's the exhale is the active part. So we're going to inhale and then so inhale. So we can start with a ho, ho, ho. Inhale, ho, ho, ho. Inhale, ho, ho, ho. Inhale, ho, ho, ho. Inhale, ho, ho, ho. And that will make your belly shake like a bowl full of jelly, for sure. At least it'll do what it does for me. So this morning, we're going to do Christmas yoga. So I have a little story for you that leads up to the crescendo. So the story goes, in Whoville, the young and the young at heart are celebrating the Christmas season. So they're outside, the kids are all outside, and they're doing various fun things in the snow. And we're going to do, the first one we're going to do is what I call the um, chest openers and sun breaths. So on the exhale, though, we're going to blow through our mouths and imagine, if you will, you're outside and you're seeing your breath, just this big cloud of breath because it's so cool out. You have snow all around you. So let's just bring our fingertips to the side, inhale up, and inhale through your nostrils, and then exhale, blowing out through your mouth. And then inhale, open. And then exhale, close. Blowing out through your mouth, envisioning that big cloud of breath in the cold air. Inhale up. And exhale down. We'll do that a couple more times. I forgot to blow through my mouth. So inhale up. Exhale through our mouths. Blow. Inhale through the nose and open. Exhale, blow through the mouth. Inhale up. And exhale down. One last time. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale up. And exhale down. And then some of the other kids are sledding down the hill in their flying saucer. So let's just pretend we're in a flying saucer. Our fingertips are going to stay out to the side. We're just going to twist from side to side, holding on to our flying saucer edges and twisting our torso from side to side as we go down the hill. And a gentle twist, flowing down the hill, turning our flying saucer. Bringing it all the way down the hill, and then we bring ourselves to a stop. Then we're going to go on our backs, and when we roll down on our backs, let's bring our knees to our chest right to start before we even roll down. Interlace our fingers around our knees and roll down like we're a snowball. Just come into a knees to chest, but into a tight snowball. And we'll rock and roll, kind of uh, rounding up our snowball. Now we'll place our left foot on the mat and send our hands down to the bottom of our feet and pretend we're putting on or pulling up our socks and our boots just to make sure that they're not falling off in the snow. So I'm going to take our hands and just kind of bring them along the side of our legs and send our foot up to the sky, pulling on our socks. And then we'll do that again. And just pulling up our boots, bring our hands down to the end of our feet, and then sliding our hands along our legs, sending our foot up to the sky, pulling on our boots. Make sure that they're nice and snug on our legs. And then we're going to send that leg down to the mat and send the other leg down to the mat. And some of the kids are out there creating snow angels. So we're going to do some snow angels. So with our feet at the bottom, and our arms alongside, we're going to bring our arms up to the side and separate our feet wide and then bring them back, creating snow angels. And we can do a couple of those. And one more. And then we'll bring our left foot back to the mat and send our right foot onto our left leg, where the ankle of our right leg is just below the left knee, coming into reclined pigeon pose. And then we'll lift the left leg up, interlacing our hands behind our thigh, and pretend we're an elf on the shelf. So imagine those kids are out running around in the snow, blowing hard, seeing their breath and creating snow angels. And all the while they're wondering, where is that little elf that's on the shelf? When I go back in the house, where will it be today? So we just gently guide that left leg toward our chest, creating a little bit of tension. And we could call the tension suspense. And then we'll release this and bring our hands around our knees again, our knees to our chest, creating that big snowball. And we'll do that all on the other side. So we're just gonna rock and roll a little bit, kind of rolling out our snowball, making it bigger and bigger. And then we'll send the right foot down to the mat and send our hands down to the bottom of our left foot. And we'll slide our hands along the inner part and outer part of our left leg, sending the foot up to the sky, just pulling up our socks. And then back down again, and then sliding our hands back down to our feet. We're going to pull up our boots, sending our foot up to the sky again. Our boots are nice and snug. And then we'll send that leg down to the bottom of the mat. And both legs will be down at the bottom of the mat, coming into reclined mountain. And we'll send our arms alongside of us and create a few more snow angels. So sliding our feet apart and our arms up and into a star shape, and back, and sliding them up into a star shape, creating snow angels. One more time, up and then back. And then we'll place our right foot on the mat, bringing our left ankle, resting it on the right leg just below the knee, and then lifting the right leg up to the sky, interlacing our hands behind the leg and becoming that elf on the shelf. Kind of breathe into that. There we go. And then we'll bring our knees back to our chest, give them a nice hug. And we're going to roll our snowball back up to a seated position. So by tucking our hands underneath our knees, we're going to start rocking and rolling. And keep rolling until you come up to a seated position. So meantime, in the North Pole, Santa is getting his reindeer ready for a journey to Whoville to go visit all the children in Whoville. So we'll check in on Santa and his reindeer. We're going to come into a tabletop position, coming up onto your hands and knees. We're going to pretend we're reindeer here. And we're going to have our reindeer just kind of get ready for this long journey. It's going to be a long night, and have them just kind of relax and flex their back, get warmed up for this journey. So we're going to drop our head and our tailbone down, rounding our back for cat, and then lifting our head up, sending our gaze straight ahead. Tailbone comes up for cow. We'll do a few cat cows here, pretending we're a reindeer and warming up the reindeer. We'll just gently inhale and exhale, going in and out of this pose. And just a few more of these, get them nice and loosened up, warmed up, ready for this trip. And then we'll come back to tabletop. We're going to extend our right leg down to the bottom of the mat, landing on the ball of our foot. And our hands have our weight evenly distributed in them. And then we're going to take that right foot and send it over to the left, just outside the mat, and send our head to look back at that foot as if we're Rudolph, who is leading this pack down Whoville. Rudolph is checking on all his fellow deer and on Santa, see if they're all ready to go. So he's checking on one side of the sleigh. We'll bring that leg back to tabletop and send the left foot down, landing on the ball of the foot, and bringing that foot outside to the right, and sending our gaze to the left foot and check on that side of the sleigh. It seems like all the reindeer and Santa are ready. So we'll bring that foot back to tabletop and bring our knees together. And we're going to send our right leg up and extend our left arm out. And then we're going to stay on dasher and then bring our elbow and knee together underneath and then extend them back out. On dancer, bring them back together underneath and extend them out. On prancer, and then back underneath and extend it out. On vixen, and you can put your hands and knees back down. We'll do the other side. So on the other side, lifting our left leg up, extending our right arm forward. It's on comet, bringing our knee and elbow together underneath us, and then extend them out. On Cupid, knee and elbow come together, and then extend out. On Donner, and the knee and elbow come together, and on Blitzen. So we put our hands back down, tuck our toes under, and walk our hands back, coming in to a squat. So Santa's reindeer are off to Whoville. And meanwhile, also up on the mountaintop, just above Whoville, there's the Grinch. So the Grinch is getting ready to come down to Whoville. And actually, I should be down on the mat. So let's get back down. We're going to come back down to our hands and knees. Should have turned the page while I was down here. All righty. So the Grinch and his dog Max are getting ready to go to Whoville as well. So let's tuck our toes under and lift our hips up to the sky, coming into downward dog in honor of Max. And just pedal out here for a moment. And get the sleigh that the Grinch and Max travel on all warmed up. Get poor Max all warmed up. And then we're going to start on the sleigh ride. So we're going to come from a downward dog into a plank position, going down the hill, and then back to downward dog and pedal out a couple times, and then back to plank. We'll do this a couple times. So back to downward dog, pedal out, and going to plank, and one last time, back to downward dog, pedal out. And then we're going to bring our right knee to our right elbow and push off with our left foot as if we're dangling over the cliff. Remember in that Grinch Stole Christmas, where Max is leading and then they get to the cliff and they're dangling over it? So that's what we're going to do. We bring that right knee again to the elbow and dangle over the cliff. And then back again, pedal out, and bring the left knee over to the left elbow and dangle over the cliff. And then back again, pedal out, and bring that left knee again to the elbow, and then back and pedal out. We'll come into plank pose, and then we're going to come down either knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, and slide our hands forward, coming into Sphinx pose. So we ride the rest of the way as if we're in a toboggan. So the toboggan gains a lot of speed. We're going back and forth, just kind of move back and forth. What's comfortable for you? Getting faster and faster and faster. And then we're going to put our arms alongside of us and really speed down the hill by lifting our right leg up, shins on the mat, lifting our left leg up, and then lifting both legs up and both arms up as if we're flying. And then bringing our hands back underneath our shoulders. So as the Grinch and Max speed on down to Whoville, we're going to gently push our hands down, coming up into Cobra, and then coming into Child's Pose, because little Cindy Lou Who is back in Whoville, and snoozing in her bed. We'll just take a rest here like Cindy Lou Who would. In child's pose. And then we'll come back up the tabletop, tuck our toes under, come into a squat, and come up into mountain pose. So as little Cindy Lou Who's snoozing in her house, the Grinch and Santa land on her roof. And Santa, being the good guy he will teach the Grinch how to slide down the chimney. And so Santa says to him, the first step is mountain pose and the essentials of good posture. So we're going to have nice, long, straight legs, have our navel tucked to our spine, tucking in that bowl of jelly. Spine is nice and long and tall, shoulders are relaxed and rolled back. Chin is tucked slightly in, crown of our head is reaching up to the sky. We're going to sweep our hands up and then jump into the chimney and then bring ourselves all the way down. So bringing our hands all the way down to the mat. We land at the bottom of the chimney. And then bringing our hands to our shins, half forward fold. Nice straight back, gaze is straight down. We're going to turn our nose to the right. See if anyone's here. Saw us come down the chimney. Nope, all clear on this side. And then back to center. We'll turn our nose to the left. See if anybody sees us on that side. Nope, all clear. And then we're going to drop our crown of our head down toward the mat. Then sweep our hands all the way up overhead. Palms come together. Palms come to heart center. And then palms come to the back of our hips and have our fingertips on the back of our palms on the back of our hips, fingertips pointing down, shoulders relaxed. We do a supported back bend. And as we do, we're going to tell the reindeer and Max to send the bags on down. So we'll just call up the chimney and have them come down. So back up to mountain pose, sweeping our hands up overhead again. And exhaling, bringing our hands down to the mat. We're going to go and pick up our bags. And again, we'll just pause here on half forward fold, our hands on our shins, and look to the right, see if anyone's seeing us yet. And then look to the left. No one's seeing us. And then sending our crown of our head down to the mat. And sweeping our hands all the way up. We're going to have Santa first hang the candy canes. So bringing our hands together overhead, we'll do a supported side stretch. So bringing our right hand down to our right thigh, left hand tipping over to the left, creating a candy cane, having Santa place that candy cane on the tree, and then coming back up, dropping our left hand down to our left thigh, tilting over to the right, having a nice candy cane shape, and have Santa place that candy cane on the tree. And then we'll do that again on the other side. Arms up, hands come down, sliding our hand down, candy cane shape, having Santa place it on the tree. And one last candy cane, arms come up, left hand comes down, sliding our ourselves over to the right and then back up. And then we'll bring our hands back down to the mat. And this time it's the Grinch that picks up the bag. So his hands grab the bag, puts his hands on the shins, again looks to the right, turning his nose to the right, back to center, turning the nose to the left, back to center, nope, all set. Sending the crown of his head down toward the mat. He'll sweep his hands all the way up, coming up onto his tippy toes, into palm tree, and all those candy canes that Santa placed on the tree, the Grinch goes and grabs them off the tree. So just kind of on your tippy toes, grab those canes off the tree, stuff them in your bag. And then we'll bring our hands back down to the mat, bending our knees as we go, and then bringing our hands to our shins, looking to the right, all set, and then looking to the left, and who should we see but Cindy Lou Who standing in her bedroom door. And we send our head down as in, uh-oh, we're caught, and then sweeping our hands all the way up to the sky, like we give up, and then bring your hands back down to mountain pose. And Cindy Lou Who doesn't get upset. She says, wonderful, you're both here. Let's do the 12 days of Christmas yoga. So I'm going to switch my mat to have it go forward, and we'll go through 12 days of Christmas yoga together. So this is where the singing comes in, and please sing along so you can drown out my voice. So, I'm gonna show you that a little bit more. There we go. On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a partridge in a pear tree. So we're going to come into tree pose by placing our, and you can pick whichever leg you want, whichever is the strongest. I'm going to start with my left leg being down on the mat, because there's some other poses coming up that my right leg is more supportive. So tree pose, hands come together, Anjali Mudra, interlace the fingers, and wiggle your fingers for the partridge in a pear tree. Whoop. Partridge in a pear tree. And then on the second day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 2 turtle doves. And this we're going to be in mountain pose. Bring our hands around the back and interlace our fingers. So this is a yoga lock. We slide our hands up our spine and flap our wings. 2 turtle doves and a partridge in a pear tree. Don't forget to wiggle your fingers. On the third day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 3 French hens. For the French hens, we're going to do eagle pose. You have your toe on the mat, just crossing your leg over, toe on the mat, or lifting your leg up, and then crossing your arms under and over each other, and just squatting down a little bit. 3 turtle doves, no, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 4th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 4 calling birds. And for calling birds, we're going to do a modified warrior 3 with our arms out back as wings. So 4 calling birds, lifting our leg up. 3 French hens, coming back to eagle pose. 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 5th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 5 golden rings. The golden rings, it's nice and easy. Mountain pose, we're just gonna bring our arms up and over, bringing our fingertips to join together, creating a nice ring around our head. 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 6th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 6 geese a-laying. And with this, we're just going to come down, bending our knees, bringing our hands to the mat, and coming into a squat. So we're on the balls of our feet. Nice, easy squat. 6 geese a-laying. And then 5 golden rings will come up to mountain pose. 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 7th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 7 swans a-swimming. So we're going to come down into squat and extend back into plank and come back down to the mat. Extend our hands out in front of us. 7 swans a-swimming, kind of lifting our hands and our feet up, swimming with them. 7 swans a-swimming, and then 6 geese a-laying. We're gonna come back up to tabletop. And I find it easier to bring our knees up toward our hands, tucking our toes under. 6 geese a-laying. 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 8th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 8 maids a-milking. We're going to go down into tabletop and do a few cat-cows. So rounding our back, tucking our head and tailbone down, and then coming up into cow position, we say moo, and then back to cat, and then back to cow, moo, and one last time, back to cat, and then looking forward to cow, moo, and then 8 maids a-milking, 7 swans a swimming, come into plank and just lower down. Sending hands and feet ahead and off the mat. Swimming, 7 swans a swimming. 6 geese a laying. Coming into that squat. 5 golden rings. 4 calling birds. 3 French hens. 2 turtle doves. And a partridge in a pear tree. On the 9th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me. 9 drummers drumming. We're going to come into chair pose. Okay. Starting off in mountain pose, then bringing our hips down towards the mat till we get to a comfortable chair pose. And then drum in front of us. 9 drummers drumming. 8 maids a milking. Cows. Round the back. Come into cow. Moo. Rounding the back. Coming in cow. Moo. And one last time. Rounding the back. Coming into cow. Moo. 7 swans a swimming. Go into plank and then down to the mat. Extending the hands and legs out. 7 swans a swimming. 6 geese a laying. Coming back to tabletop. Bringing the knees up. And then coming in to the squat. 6 geese a laying. 5 golden rings. 4 calling birds. 3 French hens. 2 turtle doves. And a partridge in a pear tree. On the 10th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me. 10 pipers piping. So we come into warrior 1. So from mountain pose, we'll extend 1 foot back, pivoting it, coming down on the mat. So we have a nice knee over ankle for the front leg, and then sending our pipe up to our lips. 10 pipers piping, and then bringing that leg back, coming into chair pose. 9 drummers drumming. And then 8 maids a milking. Woo! Rounding the back. Woo! Rounding the back. One last time. Woo! 7 swans a swimming. Lower down. Sending your hands and legs out. 6 geese a laying. Coming back to tabletop. Coming into a squat. 6 geese a laying. 5 golden rings. 4 calling birds. 3 French hens. 2 turtle doves. And a partridge in a pear tree. On the 11th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me. 11 ladies dancing. You have a couple options here. You can either bring your leg out, either like that, or if you want, you can do the full dancer pose, like that. Whichever works for you. So 11 ladies dancing. 10 pipers piping. 9 drummers drumming. 8 maids a milking. Moo, moo, moo. 7 swans a swimming. 6 geese a laying. 5 golden rings. 4 calling birds. 3 French hens. 2 turtle doves. And a partridge in the pear tree. On the 12th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 12 lords a leaping. And this, we're going to do a modification of the breath of joy, the pranayama, breath of joy. So we're going to bend our knees, lifting our arms up and out, and then up. And as we come up with our hands, we're going to leap up onto our tippy toes. So then we'll come back down. Let's do that a couple more times. Bending our knees, out, hands come out front, outside, back together, and then lifting our hands and coming up onto our tippy toes, leaping like a lord. One last time. 12 lords a leaping. 11 ladies dancing. 10 pipers piping. 9 drummers drumming. 8 maids a milking. Moo, 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 ran, moo. 7 swans a swimming. 6 geese a laying. 5 golden rings. 4 calling birds. 3 French hens. 2 turtle doves. And a partridge in a pear tree. Well done, everyone. Cindy Lou Who's proud. So, after all that, I think Santa and the Grinch and even Cindy Lou Who need a little bit of a shavasana. So, bringing our feet to the edge, pinky toes on the edge, heels tucked in. Let's bend our knees, come down into a wide-legged squat. And then bring our sit bones down to the mat and roll down and prepare for Shavasana. So just sending our feet out each corner. Shoulders nice and relaxed, snug in the mat. Arms out to the side, palms facing up. And just let everything relax. Had a busy, busy day. As you're relaxing, I'm going to read a poem by E. Cummings. titled Little Tree. Little tree, little silent Christmas tree, you are so little. You are more like a flower. Who found you in the green forest? And were you very sorry to come away? See, I will comfort you because you smell so sweetly. I will kiss your cool bark and hug you safe and tight, just as your mother would, only don't be afraid. Look, the spangles that sleep all the year in a dark box, dreaming of being taken out and allowed to shine, the balls, the chains, red and gold, the fluffy threads. Put up your little arms, and I'll give them all to you to hold. Every finger shall have its ring, and there won't be a single place dark or unhappy. Then when you're quite dressed, you'll stand in the window for everyone to see, and how they'll stare. Oh, but you'll be very proud. And my little sister and I will take hands, and looking up at our beautiful tree, we'll dance and sing, Noel, Noel.